I'm Annie.
I'm Sam.
And welcome to Game Chat on Large Plays.
Where we chat about games.
Because games!
So we've got 3 games in mind. Today, this week, fortnight, however, it's a little bit more themed because it's games that are really good at 2 players.
Yeah.
So we're getting a bit better at tying them a bit together.
Little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
We're both a bit dishevelled because it's a bit
It's very hot.
It's like
very
what,
hot in
28
England.
degrees, which I know Celsius. Yeah, which I know to a lot of people in hotter countries are used to, but we're not.
No.
We're
Well,
not.
it's because England has like, I think what they call it is like someone's going to fact check me Someone's going to fact check me on this, but the UK is a temperate rainforest technically, not a tropical one, a temperate one, which means it is very humid and moist in the air. Moist.
I hate that word.
So that means when it gets hot here,
It gets
really
yeah.
hot.
Yeah, it doesn't help that we're kind of like encased in hills, so it kind of like, it just traps all the heat in.
We're in our own little climate bubble here as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, everywhere's hot. At least we're not in a concrete jungle like London or something.
Doesn't London tend to be as well because of the pollution, like a couple of degrees higher than
Yeah, and because of the
everywhere.
concrete and all the glass reflecting and, I'm a country boy, me.
I would not like to live in London at all.
Would you like to tell them what 3 games we're going to be doing?
Yes. We are going to be doing, which order are we doing them in?
I don't know, we haven't discussed that yet.
Huh. I will just list out some then.
Yeah, whatever you like.
Okay, we are going to be doing Marvel Champions, Ankh, and Mythic Mischief.
It's exciting, isn't it? But Annie,
What?
why is Ankh in a 2-player thing? We'll be talking about that later. So what's first?
Marvel Champions.
Marvel Champions, which is... Oh, it's just off camera.
They can't
here,
see it.
Sort of here.
It's up there. Oh, sorry. Sorry, dear.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love Marvel Champions.
I know you do.
It's a living card game, right? Is that what they call it?
They call it a living card game because...
The cards are alive, they move and they drop to kill you. What?
No. Because to differentiate between from trading and collectible, because it doesn't have that randomized nature to it.
Yeah, because basically it's like when you buy a hero pack, all
you know
the
exactly
cards
what
are the
cards.
same.
Yeah.
So
Every hero pack has the exact same cards in it. So it's less about the rush of opening a new pack and going, what am I gonna get?
what's this shiny gonna be? Yeah.
Of course, the on the flip side of that, it means you don't get shinies. So why are we talking about Marvel Champions? Why have we picked it?
Because we have only ever played it at 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've only played it.
We've only ever played it at 2, and it works perfectly well at 2.
It works really well at 2.
It works really well at 2.
It's probably my favourite. I don't imagine 3 and 4 would be particularly fun, and
No.
I've played it quite a bit solo, and it's just you have to game it more. Like,
Yeah.
at least in like 2-player, if you pick a hero who's not very good against the villain, your partner can pick up the slack. But in solo, if you pick a hero who's not very good at the villain, well,
you're kind of stuck.
Tough.
You're kind of like, it's a bit like
you auto lose basically.
Yeah. I mean, what I love as well about Marvel Champions is that there is so much variety. There is so many.
Well, there is now.
Well, there is now. There wasn't when it first started.
There wasn't when we first started.
Well, yeah. But like, there's so much variety, and there's so many hero packs, and there's so many different kind of like villains and the what do they call the boxes?
Campaigns.
That makes so much more sense.
We don't do the campaigns.
We don't. No, we did.
We did.
And then we got screwed over too much.
No, it's not that. It's just.
Yeah, we did.
It's just they change the campaign rules every single box.
Yeah.
It's like, how
so
does this
tedious.
campaign work? I don't care enough. I'd rather just play them in order.
It can get so tedious trying to remember the rules for literally everything and having to kind of go and refresh them and stuff like that. It's still really good. Like even like just doing the standalone villains and stuff. And like they have what do you call it? It's the different kind of parts of the villain. Like you can have where it's got a certain theme or scheme or something, and then it's like,
yeah, there's schemes.
Yeah, no, I know, but like when you're choosing a villain and then you're like, oh, what kind of like version of him do you want? Like which ability, which kind of like...
They're the same deck every time, and it's the same scheme every time, and it's the same levels every time. It's the same modular set. Well, it's usually the same modular sets every time.
Oh, it's like modules, that might be it. Sometimes you're like, which module do you want to play?
So you just mean the modular sets that you swap in and out that aren't actually related to the villain at all?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, well, I'm glad we managed to get to the bottom of that one, because I was thoroughly confused.
Right, in my defence, right, I am so hot and bothered that my brain is clearly sweltering inside my head right now. So
we should probably give an overview of what Marvel Champions is, though.
Marvel Champions is a...
If you say deck builder...
What's I'm going
Okay.
I'm going to say living card game.
What does that mean? Like, in gameplay terms, what does that mean?
Basically, you and... It's a co-op game. You and the other player or players, in my case, you'll choose a hero each. You will... What?
Players in... The other players in your case.
No, I said the other players.
It's only me.
I said other players or player.
We'll play this back. You said players.
Player or players, in my case. Okay, whatever, alright?
Okay, carry on.
Anyway,
Carry on.
Yes. So you choose a hero each and you choose what aspect they're going to have.
Yeah, you construct a deck for them to use.
Yes, I was guessing that, dude. Right.
Sort of Magic the Gathering Pokemon card game style.
Kind of, yeah. And aspects, you have got aggression, justice, defense, protection, and leadership. There's not...
Red, yellow, green, blue.
I mean, they didn't...
Then there's neutral as well.
Neutral,
which is the grey ones.
Yeah. So your hero comes with their own set of cards, which is the standard that they come with.
Which gives them their sort of character
and
flavour.
Exactly. And then you choose which aspects you want, and then you... Usually
one aspect, but there are heroes to break that.
Yeah. And then you construct a deck so that in total you have ideally 40 cards, but what's the max?
The max, I think, is 50.
Yeah. And you have to have... Do you have to have so many from the aspects you've chosen?
No, you go full neutral if you want.
Okay. It's just that, like... Because...
So each hero comes with their own thing of 15 cards, which is their own personality, and then you basically add 25 cards from aspects and neutrals.
Yeah.
You can go up to 50, but if you've played any sort of card game like this, you know that you want to keep it to the minimum if possible, so that you can
find.
Yeah, so the deck can work the best, and you get the right synergies out.
The thing is that some cards will basically play off of other cards as well. So, like, if you only spend punch resources to...
Yeah, so every card is also has a resource icon. Each card has a cost that you spend in other cards with resources, but some cards, like the resource cards, are double resources, so they can do for 2.
Yes. So basically, so it is literally, it's about spending cards to play cards for the resources and stuff, which,
rather than like tapping your mana or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And it means that you can actually get through your deck quite quickly when you're...
You will get through your deck at least once each game, possibly twice, depending on how long it's taking you.
Yeah. And then
the villain has their own deck, which again is their schemes, which acts just like a timer, and their own personality cards. And then, as Annie was trying to articulate, a certain number of modular sets. There's a standard set which is always in, and then there's a bunch of neutral sets that you can just plug into whatever villain you like. But each villain does have their recommended modular sets to use.
yeah, and they
And we tend to just stick with those.
Yeah, and they come with like side schemes and stuff, and then what you thwart with your heroes.
And other minions.
Other minions, and they all tend to have 2 stages, don't they? So you basically defeat one stage.
Technically 3.
Oh, but is it because we don't?
But you only use 2 at a time. It's either on normal difficulty you use stage 1 and stage 2, and on hard difficulty you use stage 2 and stage 3.
Not doing hard difficult. What are you talking about? We don't play on hard.
We'll play it because it's fun, not because it's challenging.
Yeah.
So if it gets too hard, I rage quit.
Yeah. Doesn't quite flip the table because it's too heavy for him.
Well, we haven't even finished Mutant Genesis.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because I just got too taxed by it. I was like, I'm not having fun with this. Because we got to the Sinister Six one, where they rotate in and out. So you're fighting 6 of them rather than 1. And they rotate in and out, and each one has this special ability. And so it's pot luck whether you get a good series of them or not.
Yeah. We also weren't that keen on the Galaxy's Most Wanted, were we?
No, not really.
No.
Well, most of it was fine, but we never beat Ronan.
Nope.
Not once. We literally had a period where we played against Ronan 15 times.
Yep.
Or was it 17? We played
them.
a lot. And
Yes.
the amount of times out of those 15 that we got past round 1,
Yeah.
I can count on one hand. It was less than 5. Out of 17.
Yes. That's not cool, bro.
First round. Like, you can't, how are you meant to beat a...
It just got to the point where it just was not fun to keep on rehashing it. It was like...
So is that what you like least about Marvel Champions?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, defo. I think it's just...
I think for me, it's how anticlimactic it can be. Because it is just numbers. It's, oh, I'm doing 8 damage, I'm doing 10 damage, I'm doing 3 damage, I'm doing 5 damage. Oh, look, yeah, we won.
Yeah, it can be. Sometimes it's not really a skin of your teeth kind of thing. It's like sometimes it's like, I like games where sometimes it's like, oh, you win but you could have so easily lost, or you lost but you could have so easily have won. It kind of feels like it's
Whereas
not
Marvel
like that.
Champions is the opposite. It's either so easy that there's no way you could see that you could lose, or you lose so catastrophically that you can't see how you could have won.
I mean, my
That's why we haven't played it in a while. It's just because I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't fancy doing maths.
Yeah.
Because that's all it really is, oh, how much health has he got left? He's got 12 left. Can you do 12? You look at your hand, you're like, yeah, I can do 12. Okay, well, I guess we win then. There's no point playing it out. You already know that you've got the 12 damage or not, so...
Or in my case where you accidentally miscount and then you actually have one less.
That doesn't happen very often, though.
It still happens though.
Not often.
What's your favourite thing?
I just love the idea of having a hero and building a deck for them, and then trying out.
You do like deck building.
That's what I enjoy so much about Magic as well, is the construction of the deck. Like trying to take a massive pool of cards and going, well, this one, and this one will work really well with this hero. Like that's what I really like. And then so playing the game is kind of secondary to that for me. I just like building the decks.
I think my favourite thing is just the sheer variety of the heroes. I didn't used to like deck construction because I was just never sure what worked well together. So you used to do my decks, didn't you? And stuff.
Because I loved it so much.
Yeah, but then it got to the point where I was like, you know what? No, this is like you playing the game yourself because you built both of the decks.
And then she just has to go through the motions.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna build a deck. If it's rubbish, then whatever. At least it's my work.
That's the other thing as well. Like releases ended up coming so fast that they were released faster than we were playing it.
Yeah.
And so before every session, it was, let's build a deck.
Yeah.
Because there were always new cards that you wanted to try out, and or the deck that you were previously using had flaws that you want to go back and fix. And so, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hour game of Marvel Champions, which it can run for if you stall it that long.
Sweet.
Bless you. Bless you. Will turn into a 3 hour game because you got to construct the deck first, which is fun, but also that's a big time investment.
Yeah.
Before each and every game almost.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I still love the variety. Do you have a favourite hero so far from the ones we've got?
I still love Thor. Like, he's
Thor's
old school
good.
now, but I still love Thor.
Thor is pretty good.
I do also like Gamora. I like the idea
Gamora's
of just
really
events constantly. That's a really fun character.
Yeah, I actually took a big liking to Kamala Khan as Marvel.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Kamala Khan.
I like Kamala Khan. In big gun!
I've never played her in Marvel Champions because I just don't like the character in general.
I like the character.
She's an annoying fangirl.
Aren't we all?
Not Kamala Khan levels. She's another level of fangirl, like an annoying level.
Yeah, well. Let her like what she likes. Let fictional characters like what the fictional characters like. Does that make sense?
Sure.
But Marvel Champions is really good.
It is good, yeah. It's been dropping in my estimations just because...
We haven't played it so long though, dude.
Yeah, but we played it a lot, so it just sort of became the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and I guess losing so much...
Either losing catastrophically so much or
winning
without breaking a sweat so much.
Yeah.
Has its toll.
But I still really enjoy it. I want to get it out again at some point. At some point, we just got loads of other games which should take precedent at the moment. So yeah.
Ankh!
Which is...
That one!
Yeah.
Right there. 3 boxes of it. Technically 4 boxes, but I compressed it down.
Yeah, you know how you said to me, this is your stage, Annie, for Earth? This is your stage.
Annie doesn't like Ankh.
It's not that I don't... Right, okay, like, get straight, right? It's not that I don't like it. By all rights, I should love it because I love, like, you know, the Egyptians. I love kind of like, you know, the myth, everything, pharaohs, everything like that and stuff. I just freaking hate area control because I'm so at it. I can't. I don't know what it is. And then I think I'm doing really well, and then I'm not. What are you looking at?
You hate area control. We have Lords of Ragnarok, we have One Land's War, we have Petrichor, we have Ankh, we have a lot of area control. Inish? You love Inish.
I'm actually really good at Inish.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know though, because I don't know why I struggle so much with Ankh.
I don't know either.
I really want to be better at it because you absolutely love it and we don't table it much because I really struggle with it. I just really want to get better at it and like it and stuff. And we even did this thing where you basically, you know, you kind of like, we went through a kind of like tested game where you actually...
I explained every single move I made and why I was making it.
Yeah. But I still struggle. And I don't know why, because I really enjoy it.
You just said you don't enjoy it.
I meant I really want to enjoy it. Brain, heat, whatever. I really want to enjoy it because I know you enjoy it. So I really want to.
I really enjoy
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I really very enjoy it. I do.
What happened to your eyebrows?
Ankh's an area control game, part of the Eric Lan mythological trilogy with Blood Rage and Rising Sun, which we haven't played either of. technically a lie. I've played Blood Rage digitally against the AI.
How was that for you?
Fine.
Fine.
I'm not the biggest fan of card drafting, so Blood Rage's card drafting aspect was kind of like, eh.
Yeah, you don't really like drafting.
I do like Inish, though. We're not talking about Inish. So Ankh is an area control game in that kind of vein, where Blood Rage is about card drafting and Rising Sun is about bidding. Ankh is about, would you say, action selection? Where you pick which action you want to take on this. It's like almost like a grid. You have to do it top to bottom, so you can't do like the third one and then go up and do the second one. You have to do it in order that it is there. And so once you take that action, you move the marker along to the next bit so that it puts your opponent in a quandary whether they want to edge closer to the next event phase, because every time any action marker reaches the end space, the event marker moves along and you have to resolve that event. And so that's the timer of the game. So it's just really mindy and thinky, like, I want to take that action, but if I take that action, that's going to cause the event to go, which I'm not ready for yet, so I need to try and wait to do that action and hope they don't take the action and trigger the event. And
see, I think that's one of the things about it I'm good at. I'm good at kind of like the action selection and jimmying it.
She's very good at avoiding camels. She will bend her entire game plan just so she doesn't have to trigger camels, because she hates doing the camel event.
Yeah, I do.
So
actually.
when the camel event's coming up and the action markers are poised, I'm like, you want me to take this? I'll just take the camel event, shall I?
I'm actually right. No, it's because when we first started playing and stuff, I was like, because I have no sense of kind of like spatial awareness, or kind of like where the lines are and stuff. So I was like, I don't know what.
I mean, it's hexes.
Yeah, whatever.
It's not like they're confusing wiggly lines. They're just hexes. It's a hex grid, basically.
Yes, but I have very bad sight problems. And
Your glasses now.
Yes, I know.
Maybe we should be trying it again now that you can see what you're doing.
But yeah, maybe we should. Maybe, But whenever I suggest playing it, you're like, you don't really want to play it. I'm like,
well, because I know she doesn't really want to play it. She just wants to keep me happy. And she thinks playing Ankh is what will keep me happy.
will it?
Yes. If you're competitive.
Yeah, I try.
Ankh is not a fun game to steamroll your opponent with.
Didn't I like our very first game of it, I won.
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think I did. And then every subsequent game, no.
But why is Ankh in the 2-player category?
Because it just works really well at 2
It just works. It's an area control game that works really well at 2 players. There aren't many of those. I can literally think off the top of my head of 2 that work really well at 2 players. Inish, Nightmare Cathedral, and Ankh.
Mm. But the thing is, because when you get into more players, then you start kind of like joining, don't you, at a certain point?
Yeah, there's the merge. The very controversial merge. We don't mind the merge.
Yeah, we don't mind
I think it's kind of clever, actually.
I thought they were going to say cute, and I was like,
I think it's kind of clever because it's sort of like a catch-up mechanism for those in last place.
Yeah.
But it does require you rejigging who's seating where on the table so that the 2 merged can then discuss their plans a bit easier.
Yeah, but
But at 2-player, there's no merge.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the merge, please play Ankh at 2-player because it's a great 2-player game when you have an opponent who's competitive.
I tell you what, we've got a bit of a busy week this week, possibly. Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
But when we've got a bit more of a freer day, we will knock it out.
We'll see.
No, they're my witness.
Is there anything you like about Ankh?
I love the models.
Oh my god, I was hoping you were going to say that. I mean, it's Come On, isn't it? And Come On have some of the best minis in the industry.
Okay, hold you there. What is it? Is it pronounced Come On or Seamon?
They say Seamon. I call it Come On because CMON, come on.
Yeah.
Obviously it's Come On.
But it's always...
And you're never going to change my mind on that.
It always baffles me because I'm just like... Anyway, yeah, the models are
Because no, I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna get on my soapbox.
Oh, go on then. I'm making sure you don't fall off it.
I'm gonna explain why, in a more succinct manner, why it is come on.
It's too off for that.
Because it's either come on as a word or it's CMON. You don't have both words where you say C and then word the last three letters. It's either come on or CMON. There's no Seamon. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Do you need some help down from your soapbox?
I was just going to tell them to have a fat go at me in the comments.
Oh, not just a go, a fat go.
A fat go. Have a fat go at me in the comments because you will never change my mind. It's come on or CMON. So come on if you're hard enough.
Fromage frais. What?
Please carry on talking about the miniatures because they are beautiful.
They're not really miniature though, some of them, are they?
Oh yeah, the gods are like...
The gods are like...
that big.
They're so nice though. They're very, very, very sturdy as well. They're very kind of like robust and... But it's just the sculpts.
And the sculpts are great. And the warriors for each god are completely different.
Yeah.
So there's a unique sculpt for Anubis's warriors. There's unique ones for Ra's. There's unique ones for Cyrus, etc., etc. They all have completely unique sculpts, which is so good.
Because I just love that.
And it's coloured plastic as well, so you don't have to paint them. It's blatantly obvious whose is whose.
There's one more thing. Another thing I like about it though: asymmetry.
There isn't really asymmetry in Ankh. You get like a power that you might use, but your tech tree on your board is the same for every single player.
Okay, it's
There's a degree of asymmetry, but I wouldn't call it
symmetry.
I wouldn't call it an asymmetric game at all.
Fine, yeah, whatever. Well, clearly, I don't remember much about it, so we're gonna have to play it again.
No.
Yes. While sipping a nice thingy of tea.
I thought you were going to turn around like $1 million.
Is that from Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no! Why would I do that?
I don't know. You were doing a little thing with your little finger.
$1 million.
A few moments later.
Yeah. What do you love the most about Ankh?
What? The miniatures. I really love the miniatures.
Copycat.
I really love the artwork. I do. Even though the powers aren't asymmetric, I do like trying to craft your strategy around trying to do that. Like, for example, with one of my favorite ones is pyramid attuned, because then it allows you to spawn more stuff on the board, which means you can afford to lose more often. But like with Anubis, you might want to go for obelisk attuned, because I can't remember what his ability is, but obelisk attuned allows your god to teleport around the board. So you want him to be everywhere at once, and you can do that with obelisk attuned. It's great.
Yeah.
But on that note, actually, I think my hands down my favorite is the combat. So you've got a hand of cards, and you secretly select which card you're going to use for each area. So it might be like building a monument. It might be a little bit of bidding with the plagues. It might be earning followers for each of your warriors that are in places. It might be earning points for everything you lose, or it might be protecting stuff in certain, like whether it's in grassland or I think it's grassland, isn't it? You protect. You've also got one that puts them all back in your hand. So once you spend a card, it stays spent until you play that card that brings it all back.
Yeah.
So it's like a strategic puzzle of which region do I need to save this card for?
Yeah.
And how can I build up to that in the other regions?
See, that's what I struggle with.
And so you don't want to win all the regions. I mean, you could, but it's so much more fun, like, intentionally losing some.
Yeah, because sometimes intentionally losing actually means that you can gain in other kind of, like...
especially if you've still got, like, monument majority in there, you're still going to score points even if you lose the actual battle.
Yeah.
So there's ways around it.
Do you know what my favourite Ankh power is?
Yes. It's the Isis.
The Temple Attuned.
Oh, Temple Attuned. I thought you were talking about the God powers.
No.
She goes for Temple Attuned literally every game. And that makes her temples turn into two strength
Yeah.
if she has someone next to it.
Yeah. If I have my god next to it.
But as I just said, maybe that's your problem because you're trying to win all the regions.
Yeah.
You're trying to get spread out, build all the temples, and then win them all. And then Ankh's not about winning them all. You want to lose some of them.
Yeah, maybe actually.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a good game.
It's a brilliant game.
I'm just not very good at it, and I want to be better. So if you have any tips for me for Ankh or any area control,
good luck giving her tips that I have not already given.
Yeah, well, you don't know everything.
That is true. Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
I might have missed something.
Yeah.
I do love Ankh though.
Yeah,
We've got the extra gods from Pantheon. We've got the Fair expansion, which doesn't work well at 2-player. I will be honest.
It doesn't.
But we do need to still play it at a higher player count.
Yes.
So I don't know how well it plays at a higher player count, but I do know that it's a bit too messy at 2. Like, because at 2-player, Ankh becomes like almost chess-like and strategic, and that's
and
cool.
I'm rubbish at chess as well.
Whereas at like 3 or more, it gets a little bit more chaotic. So you add Pharaoh in, it becomes even more chaotic, which is fun. And yeah, so I'd like to try that at some point.
Yeah. We will. Yeah, hopefully we will.
This is dangerous filming this just before game night. Because now I might want to play Ankh.
Yeah.
Lastly, we were talking about Mythic Mischief.
Yes.
Which, when this video goes up, if you're not aware, Volume 2 goes up on Kickstarter tomorrow. So, if you like what you see here, definitely go and check that out. It's on Kickstarter, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, we don't do Kickstarter coverage, but we do really like IB Studios. We really like Mythic Mischief, and so the timing worked out nicely as well. So we're just mentioning it. Tomorrow is Mythic Mischief Volume 2. Go back it if you're interested.
Yes, do it because we've told you to.
On that note, the original Mythic Mischief, I wasn't entirely sure I was going to back.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Thematically, it's about these horror themed teenagers in a school who are in the school library who are trying to get each other caught by the librarian who's walking down. Thematically, that doesn't appeal to me at all.
I think it's fun.
Yeah,
I think that's a fun prospect.
Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me at all, really.
Because you're not a teenage girl.
And then I was very cautious when all of our favourite content creators were going, this game is absolutely amazing. It's like, is it though? Because you're always worried that they're a bit biased or something. But ultimately, it was an IB Studios game. Veiled Fate's amazing, Moonraker's is amazing, so I was like, sure.
Are we IB fan?
We are Kamala Khan for IB Studios. We just said that Ankh at 2-player was a strategic chess-like thing. Mythic Mischief definitely is a chess-like thing.
See, the thing is though that I am really not very good at Mythic. Although we did.
You're not terrible at Mythic Mischief.
We played it. Right, I've never won. we played it the other day, and actually.
Which was monsters versus wizards.
Yeah, and I was wizards, And actually, I didn't actually do too badly.
No, you don't. You never really do too badly.
It's just like, so yeah. So I don't know why. It's a kind of game I usually struggle with. But I like Mythic Mischief way more than Ankh. Even though they're both technically, as you said, chess-like games and stuff. And I don't know why.
I don't really know how to describe Mythic Mischief.
Fun. It's small.
It often gets described as like an abstract game, which is, it behaves like an abstract game, even though it has a theme and is not particularly abstract. Because it's all about how you move your people around the board and you've got to get each other caught. A bit like chess or drafts, checkers, depending on what you want to call it. Those kind of abstract games. So, It is a bit like that. It's all about maneuvering and trying to outwit your opponent strategically, but then it has a lot of theme because each faction is completely asymmetric.
Yeah. This is asymmetric.
Yeah, they each get their own little dual layered player board, and you got these tiny little dice. Which are numbered blank to 5 because you don't roll them. They're not rolling dice. They're just used to tick over and track how much of that action you've used. And they go in these rows to tell you how many times you can take that action. So you've got your move action, which is how far you move. Every faction is the same with that. Then you've got your asymmetric way of moving walls. So you might move them perpendicular like a door, or you might slide them across, or you
throw them over your shoulder,
or you might just make them disappear and reappear somewhere else. And then you've got how you move other mythics. Which might be tossing them over your head, or swapping places with them, or it might be
like in an arrow kind of,
or it might be attracting them towards you, or
get over here.
and then you've got your distract, which is how you move the librarian, how you manipulate the librarian. Because the librarian's going to move around after every turn anyway, between 3 points. But with distract, you can move him towards you, which can get someone caught in the crossfire, which is great.
But
and then you've got your special ability. I don't know what they call it, but that's like a single use only until you recharge it. And an after lunch special, which is an extra ability you get in the second half of the game. And they're all completely widely different.
They are. They're so different. Do you have a favourite?
I love the zombies.
He loves when zombies are an option in anything. You like zombies though.
Well, I like zombies. I like how I like their asymmetric abilities, and they're yellow, which is my colour of choice.
True. My favourite are the wizards.
Because they're purple.
It's not because they're purple. It's just because I think.
Just because you like the nerds.
Yeah.
And I like the skaters. So each faction is a horror monster type thing, but it's also a high school clique. So it's like the zombies are skater kids, the wizards are your nerds, the witches are the popular girls, the ghosts are like the goody two shoes bookworms, the monsters are the football playing jerks. Jocks. Not jerks. I'm sure they're jerks too, but jocks, and cheerleaders. The trolls are the drama club.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And the vampires are like the cool goths.
That also makes sense. Yeah.
Which is I think that's cool.
No, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Adds it gives the game its own little flavour, I think.
Yeah. Which one of those, if when you were at school as a teenager, which one of those would you have been?
I'm not really sure.
I would have been a ghost.
Really? Not the vampire?
I would have been a ghost vampire wizard hybrid. Yeah, that would have been.
I'm not sure who I'd be. Probably a mix between
jock,
vampire and nerd.
No, you would have been a jock.
Maybe skaters, even though I didn't skate, but that's kind of the...
You wanted to, didn't you?
I did do a bit of skating, but I wasn't a skater. But
You was that skater boy.
I was... Actually, I might have been closer to the drama kids because I especially once I had hit 14, I was hanging out at the music rooms and playing music and hanging out with the music kids.
Yeah.
But then I also had my nerdy kids as friends, who weren't actually nerdy so much as just not popular.
Are they socially awkward?
Kind of, but not really.
Oh, I'm socially awkward.
My main friendship group was just like the definition of a non-clique. It was just we didn't fit anywhere. There was no pocket to put us in.
So you were the clique of outsiders.
It's because the stereotypical high school cliques are a lie anyway.
Yeah, no.
I mean, realistically, I wasn't really part of any.
Yeah, the way that the movies and stuff portray it is not actually usually not here in England.
Well, not in England, no.
I mean, it might be elsewhere, but in England it's not really kind of like...
I mean, you still get kids who do fit it, but It's not as...
Not as a general rule of thumb. What don't you like about Mythic Mischief?
I'm not too keen on how, because it's so strategic, your turn consists of you staring at the board for 10 minutes in silence.
Analysis paralysis, anyone?
It is probably the worst game for me in analysis paralysis. Yeah. Like, by far. Because, like, she'll be like, right, that's my turn, and then I'll just be staring at the board like... Wait, if I...
Yep.
Hang on. No. Like, for ages. Like...
Yeah. And the thing is, though...
Because I've got to figure out the whole turn before I move anything.
Yeah, and the thing is, as well, that it's a case of you take your turn, and then the librarian moves and, like, you know, catches anyone in his way or whatever to the next, his next, like...
Because he's stacking shelves, so his next bookshelf.
His next bookshelf or whatever. And then the other player takes their go, and any of their people that got basically caught, they basically put back down, respawn back into the library.
Which we often forget to do. Mm-hmm. On numerous occasions, I have ended up trying to catch Annie with only 2 mythics on my side, and I go, oh, I was meant to place this one, whoops.
Yeah, and then your opponent takes their turn, and then the librarian will move again and do the same to you or whatever, and then yeah, so it's very much, it's not like both players take their turn and then the librarian. It's literally you
librarian, them librarian, you librarian, them librarian.
Which I actually like. I think it's pretty cool.
And it means there's no advantage to going last.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, so I just generally
and you got these tiny little tomes which you have to collect around the board as well, and you put them into your dice slots in order to upgrade them, because the further you push the dice, the more of that action you get. Yeah,
exactly. But like the thing is that, see, I'm my eyesight isn't the best, and the tomes are very small, and so sometimes like I move on to a tome or something, I just sit there. Your opponent can't actually stop on a space where you are. So basically it's like I'm hogging the tomes and he can't get his. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm not going to blame you for this because I do it as well. If you take first turn in Mythic Mischief, guaranteed, your first moves are going to be move this Mythic onto this tome, this Mythic onto this tome, and this Mythic onto this tome. I get 3 tomes, you can't grab them unless you spend all your movement.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how every game starts.
But aside from that, it's like really good. I really enjoy it.
Is there anything you don't like?
Anything I don't like?
Well, I know we'd already done the don't like, but you asked me and then I never asked you.
Yeah. I think my only problem is that I struggle with is purely because, and it's purely because of my own visual perception and stuff, is the kind of like how to like with the factions and stuff, is that I sometimes struggle with, because they're all so different, especially with the walls and stuff, like unless it's got an arrow pointing up or to the side so I know which way it's going, I can't decipher sometimes how stuff moves. And it's the same with moving other mythics and stuff, unless it's like the swap one.
Thankfully in the rulebook it does go through and explain all the abilities.
So I don't like that, but I also like that the rulebook explains it. So I guess it's kind of neutral then. I
have thought of something else I'm not quite keen on with Mythic Mischief, and it's the once the librarian reaches his 3rd space, you go into the second half of the game where it all changes around. But it's completely random. So it has turned out in a number of occasions where I just finished taking my turn, and then we go over to the next half, and then I am now in his path, so she doesn't have to do anything to get me caught because I was already there.
Yep.
By pure luck.
Yep.
That can be a bit frustrating at times.
But aside from that,
it's a great game. It's a really good game. Not my favourite from IV, but it is really good. Yeah. And we are backing it tomorrow.
Yes.
Like insta-backing it.
What factions does this one have?
So Volume 2 is now instead of being in a library, it's in the gardens, and instead of a librarian, it's a groundskeeper. So
I thought it was going to be canteen and it was going to be a lunch lady.
So you've got more outdoorsy kind of almost woodland creature type things.
What?
So you've got fairies, you've got gnomes, you've got gargoyles and werewolves.
Fairies. I'm away with the
I'm actually quite looking forward to the gnomes.
Yeah.
Gnomes sound like they could be fun.
No one knows about that.
Ah!
Okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to fairies.
Can't wait for that. It's going to be fun.
Yes. So, so Mythic Mischief.
Should we start wrapping up then?
Yes, like a present with a little bow on top. Oh, I can't wrap presents though. So.
Yeah, you have to get me to do it all the time.
Yeah, I put so much sellotape on presents that people struggle to open them. It's not great for kids though.
I love it at Christmas because it's like, who's this from? Oh, it's Annie. I don't even have to read the label.
It's so true. Because I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. I don't care anymore. I just kind of like, it's like, at least it's wrapped.
It'll be like a small box game, but it'll be like a massive ball of wrapping. You'll be like, well, that's from Annie.
Your dad, however, is so good at wrapping.
I thought I was quite good.
No, you are good. You're good after watching the YouTube videos.
I only watch the YouTube ones for weird shaped ones.
I know.
Like how are you meant to do
A hexagon?
I still don't. Yeah, I did manage to do hexagons. Was it octagons? It was something weird. But like cylinders, I struggle with cylinders.
Yeah.
They're really weird. I don't know how to do them.
I don't know how to wrap boxes.
Any of them in
Any
general.
of them. So I'm just like.
This is a weird conversation, seeing as it's
Yes.
September and we're boiling hot. And we're talking about Christmas presents.
Yeah, well.
We don't even think about buying Christmas presents until like October, November. So it's not even that it's on our brains.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, though, is he says that, but actually it's until after, like, someone's birthday.
When no one's allowed to mention Christmas until I've had my birthday at the end of November. But we do make sure we do have present plans sorted by then.
Yeah. But
We're not that last minute.
But my birthday is right at the beginning of December, and so is Dexter's.
Yeah. It's a chaotic couple of weeks.
Yeah, we did not plan that very well.
Well, we didn't.
Yeah, okay, that's not, yeah.
Well, we planned him. We didn't plan the timing of it.
Yeah, no.
At all. We didn't think about the timing of it at all.
No, we were just like...
We didn't do the calculations of, so if it happens now, we had 9 months, and that's... Oh.
Yeah.
And that happened twice, because Milo's at the end of December.
Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah. Right smack bang before New Year.
So there's nothing all year, and then
yeah.
and then there's like a solid like month of just, oh my god, everything's happening right now.
Yeah.
All 4 birthdays and a Christmas.
Oh yeah, and don't forget all the kids' productions and everything.
Oh my god, it's absolute chaos.
It is nuts. Anyway, it's not Christmas though, is it?
That was a really weird tangent.
Yeah, I know. You might cut it out anyway.
I might do. I probably will. I don't know. We'll see.
So I can do this then.
No, that's staying in.
Oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, thank you for watching. We've been Large Plays.
And just to recap, we talked about...
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah?
Okay, we have talked about Marvel Champions, Ankh, and Mythic Mischief.
They're all great games in their own ways. They're all a little bit flawed in their own ways. But they are all really good at 2 players.
Yeah. And let us know in the comments what you think is the best game you've played at 2-player.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What you think about the 3 games we've discussed, whether you've played them.
Yeah. At any player count.
At any player count. And if you find us not as annoying as we think we are, please like and subscribe.
Oh, why did you have to ruin it at the last minute?
I am a ruiner.
Oh, you really are, aren't you? Bye.